Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Hello and welcome to this week's review of The Karate Kid. I didn't have much expectations from the trailers after seeing them. It looked like it had potential, but I didn't think it was going to be anything great. I wasn't a huge fan of the original Karate Kid. I know it spread off a lot of famous scenes like the wax on, wax off scene in the fly scene, but unlike a lot of other classics, it hasn't aged really well. You can tell it was made in the 80s. That being said, for the new film, I reserved my judgment after seeing the trailer. I thought, this could be good, this could be bad. It could be like another remake, it could be, anything. So I went in with not very much expectations, I expected it to be, entertaining, I guess, but I didn't think it was going to be a classic or anything. Well, I gotta be perfectly honest with you, I was very surprised with this film. It was very well made, had great acting, great casting, some good humor, as well as a few good tearjerker moments. It had a lot of good aspects. The strongest point of the film had to have been Jackie Chan. With Pat Morita gone, I was skeptical of how they would replace him in his role. Jackie Chan did very well on his own. Of course, we all know him well from other films like Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon, the mainstream ones. He's also done a lot of famous martial arts films, both foreign and domestically. As for Jaden Smith, I think he did a good job as the new Karate Kid. For me, I don't like to think of this as a remake. It feels a lot different from the original. A lot of things have been altered and changed. In fact, the new Karate Kid feels more like a sequel rather than a remake. Other than the premise itself, a lot has been changed from the original to this one. I don't like to think of it as a remake. Again, it feels like a whole, standout film. It doesn't really feel like, it's linked to the original. Instead of the film taking place presumably in America like the original, the film takes place in Beijing, where Jaden Smith is bullied basically. Like his first day at school, he's bullied by a kid. So in order to counteract this, he learns karate from Jackie Chan for a big tournament that's coming up. He's chased by the group of kids that keeps picking on him in the school, and then out of nowhere, Jackie Chan comes out and protects him. From this point on, Jackie Chan teaches him Kung Fu to prepare himself for the tournament. All in all, it's not too different from the original storyline, but there are alterations that you will probably notice if you know the original well. For me, the only real down point to the film had to have been the runtime, which the film's over 2.5 hours long. Some parts maybe could have been cut out. And the other minor gripe I had about this film is it's not actually had anything to do with actual karate. In fact, Jackie Chan teaches Jaden Smith about Kung Fu. He didn't teach him karate. I think the reason why they call it Karate Kid is because it has more relevance, so more people would know it, and this is probably the main reason why it's been considered a remake. I think the best part of the film had to have been the last third act, which, if you've seen the original, you probably know how it all plays out. He goes to a tournament, and I'm not going to spoil it too much, but it does take some twists and turns that really makes it a fun, entertaining sequence. So in the end, I really like this film. I know the general public is going to hate it just because it's a remake. If you're going to go in expecting 100% originality, don't go see this movie. In fact, don't go see any movie that's coming out this summer. Nothing's really original coming out this summer except maybe Inception. For the most part, it's all sequels, remakes, and then, prequels, whatnot. And I think if you're gonna go in with 100% expectations, if your expectations are expecting 100% originality, then you're probably not gonna enjoy a lot of films. So if you go into this, just expect a fun time. That's really what I got out of this. It's a fun time, great movie. It's pretty much was good on most of the general aspects. The acting was good, the plot was good. I think the characters were well made. The cinematography was great, and yeah, generally it was a good film. Now, again, just don't go in expecting to bash it. Don't put it down. Don't go out of your way to not like the film, because it is a well-made film. I gotta admit, it's one of the few remakes where it does stand up to the original pretty well. I think it's better than all the sequels to the original Karate Kid, and as a remake, it's very well made. I'm not saying it blew away my expectations, but it was a lot better than I expected it to be, basically. I think it's better than most remakes that are put out there. So, for my overall review, I give The Karate Kid an 8 out of 10. Just a heads up, later today I'm probably going to go see the A-Team, so I'll probably put up a review for that later. My expectations for that has been pretty high. I've heard pretty good critical things about it. Critics have been actually pretty positive about it, so we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, Karate Kid was a good time.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with